Hi, this is Logan Street with DealerSocket. Today we're going to go over using the desk log as a manager follow-up tool. Okay. First off, to access the desk log, we're going to go ahead and click Sales, Desk Log. This again is going to open up in another tab. In a lot of dealerships, sales managers just always have this open because you can pretty well live in here. Okay. By default, it's going to pull up today's results. But if I click this arrow up here, I can go back to the previous day's results. Okay. Now, what we recommend as DealerSocket consultants is each morning the open manager print this off. So they would hit the three dots, go ahead and hit print. This would print out a electron or a kind of a paper version of this desk log. Okay. And throughout the morning, we want to have your managers be calling through anybody that did not purchase and turn this into the GM with notes on what happened on each one of these customers by the end of the day. Now, you could add notes to the system here if you want to as well, and we do recommend that, but the act of having your sales managers have to fill this out and hand it to the sales manager is the accountability that we're looking for to ensure that any customer that did not purchase is being followed up with. Okay. First off, to set ourselves up for success, and I'll just highlight this on the current day's information. Go ahead and let this load out here. Sometimes when I'm screen sharing, this tends to lag just a little bit. Jump back and forth one more time. There we go. There's two fields that we need to utilize to make sure that we can effectively use this. Well, more than two fields, but like three fields basically to effectively utilize this as a follow-up tool. The first field that we're going to use is adding ourselves as a manager when we're working these deals. This is so we know who worked the deal the day before. Okay. The next field that we're going to use is today's result. We want to specify at the end of the day, if they're not done, we want to come in here and make sure that every one of these today's results is accurate to specify when we think that customer is going to close. If they did sell that day, and if they couldn't close, why couldn't they close? Okay. That way, when we're quickly looking at this as the next, when we're quickly looking at this the next day, we'll know who to call first, and if we need to call for a specific reason, we can call for a specific reason. The last piece is your notes. So if you're a sales manager and you want to add a specific note to this opportunity, excuse me, you can click in here and add these notes or review these notes, right? I can also click on this note icon and add notes here. Okay. The reason we want to do this is so that when we are going through the desk log for the previous day, we can see quickly what happened, who worked it, and the notes. Okay. We can also, see if the customer was turned over here as well. Oh, excuse me, my throat's getting a little dry. Okay. Um, the process of following up these customers is super easy, right? We can look at the notes, see what's going on, or click on the note icon. And then when we want to log a phone call, all we have to do is click on the phone call the customer, specify whether we spoke to them or not, and write a note of what happened, right? This is typically just going to be a one thing call. Hey, if there's one thing that prevented you from buying, yada, 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 we can get that going. And then you'll log that call as a manager. If by chance you get a hold of that customer and they're like, yeah, we can come back in today, I can come over here to the right and click add task, schedule an appointment. And let's say that we're going to schedule this appointment for today at 12:30. Okay. Coming back in to finish the deal, right? Say they're done. Go ahead and we can add that. Now that customer will show up in the desk log for that day. And, you can make a note, spoke to customer, will be coming back in this afternoon. Okay. Click out of that. And then I have that note in there. All right. The other thing that we can look for on here are no show appointments. Okay. So this is showing as unconfirmed, but we know this customer didn't show. So I can actually come in and clean this up. Did the customer show up? No, save. Okay. So I can specify that they were a no-show, and then I can go ahead and call that customer again using the call icon. I can also email those customers, and then if they've opted into texting or the store doesn't require an opt-in and they have their cell phone number, you can text them from here as well. Okay. Like I said, ideally, if in this situation we don't have much here, just because this is a demo site, but if you had a day where you didn't have that many, we can also go to the previous day before then and follow up with those customers one more time. Okay. And that is how you utilize the desk log to follow up with previous day's customers as sales managers. Thanks for joining me.